Hey guys, today I will be reacting to how to relieve muscle soreness and recover fast, 4 science-based tips. The video is by Jeremy Etheridge, and if you want to find the full video you can see it in the description below. I'm an athlete who always wants to recover faster, wants to get better, wants to find ways to improve, and I'm really excited to see if I can learn something from this video. So without any further ado, let's get right into it.
Soreness you feel a day or two after a workout is something you're all probably familiar with. This feeling, known as delayed onset muscle soreness or DOMS, is thought to be caused by microscopic tears in your muscle fibers that occur from resistance training or just a novel stimulus in general. And aside from just being generally uncomfortable, particularly with leg soreness, too much soreness can also negatively impact your training if it carries over into your next workouts.
Yeah, so I'll pause the video right there. He has a really good point. You need to balance the workouts well and make sure that you don't work out so hard, especially in the gym if you're an endurance athlete, so it doesn't hinder your performance when you're going to do your main sport. So if you're a footballer, basketball player, swimmer like me or something else, if you go too hard in the gym, then your main sport is actually going to hurt from that, so you need to find a good balance.
Show that training a muscle while it's still sore can reduce the activation of the desired muscle, reduce the force capacity of the muscle by up to 50%, and negatively interfere with the recovery process. Therefore, it's vital that you take the necessary steps.
And also it can hinder your technique and not enable you to do the sport with the right technique because you're so sore and it hurts so much. You need to compensate in some way, and that is also not good.
In order to minimize post-workout soreness and speed up the muscle recovery process. And although two common suggestions are to take ice baths or stretch after your workout, this actually isn't the best advice to take. Although ice baths may slightly help with muscle soreness, they've also been shown to hinder muscle growth and strength by interfering with the muscle recovery process. And as for static stretching,
ice baths, they hinder the inflammation and they lessen the inflammation. So that is actually a bad thing, because when you have been doing exercise and after your training session you want a little bit of inflammation to occur, because that's when your body heals from that inflammation, that's what makes you stronger, faster, more explosive, etc. So you actually want a little bit of inflammation. One situation when you actually maybe want to use ice baths is during a competition. If you have had a max effort one day and you need to recover as fast as possible for the next day, then it might be good to use an ice bath, because then you push down that inflammation and help your body. But during the training season, he's right, you should not really use this method.
Multiple studies from the Journal of Sports Medicine have indicated that it actually doesn't help with muscle soreness and may interfere with the recovery process as well. Therefore, both of these wouldn't be the ideal solution for those who want to prioritize.
It can be good for technique purpose, so if you're a cyclist or a swimmer, runner, and you feel like you can't do your sport to the ability you would want to because you're not flexible enough, then that becomes a problem, and you can use the stretching and mobility exercises for that to enhance the technique and also, let's say, stroke efficiency, running efficiency, and so on. But just as a recovery technique, no, it's not really effective.
Muscle growth and strength. So what exactly can you do? Well, aside from the general recommendations of taking adequate protein and getting enough sleep, there's a few extra steps you can take, which is exactly what I'll cover in this video. Self-myofascial release, most commonly done in the form of foam rolling, has become increasingly popular in recent years. Aside from its positive effect on improving mobility, it seems to also be an effective way of reducing muscle soreness. And although research is still lacking, of the 4 available studies that have directly analyzed the effect of foam rolling on muscle soreness, 3 of them showed a positive effect on reducing muscle soreness and enhancing muscle recovery. And this reduction in muscle soreness seemed to enhance the workout performance of the subjects in their next workouts. So how exactly can you apply this?
Yeah, and I do foam rolling after the sessions I do when I swim. I have 9 sessions each week, and I try to do foam rolling after each one. I do it about 5 to 10 minutes, so I find that if I do it too long and put pressure on myself to do it really well every time, then I don't really do it. So I find it's better to do shorter intervals, but try to keep the habit and stick to it after every training session.
Well, I'd suggest foam rolling after your workout for around 10 minutes or so and stick to the muscles you work that day, especially the ones that tend to experience the most soreness. You can also do the foam rolling a few hours after your workout if that's more convenient for you. As for how to properly foam roll, I'll save that topic for another video. For now, just focus on not going over a muscle too quickly, and for really tight areas, keep the pressure on it until you feel it release. And if you're looking to purchase a foam roller, I'll leave a few links to some of my personal suggestions in the description box down below.
One thing I also want to mention about the foam rolling is that I find that compression boots work even better, so that may be an alternative for you if you have the budget for it. It's really super tool, it's great, especially if you have had an intense session. That will get you back like this. And it's an amazing tool, so I can leave a few links to it in the description below. I find that it works so much better than foam rolling, and sometimes when I've been really in a slump, it's what has helped me to pull through and get through those tough training blocks.
Reduce muscle soreness is incorporate active recovery, which includes cool downs, low intensity exercise, and so on. Again, not many studies have looked into this, but the few studies that have found that active recovery either performed immediately after a workout or within the days following the workout reduced muscle soreness more than when no active recovery was used. So in order to implement this, I suggest performing 5 to 10 minutes of active recovery or cool down after your workout, especially for leg workouts. This can be done after your
I would actually recommend to do it for a little bit longer of a time now. I would say even up to 20 minutes or 30 minutes if you have had a tough race or a tough training session is optimal. And I think the active recovery helps even more when you do endurance sessions, because then the fatigue that you have put on your body is a little bit different. And when you have had weight training, then you get these microscopical tears. So of course you want new blood to get to the muscles, but it will not have the same effect as after endurance sessions when you can really flush out all of those waste products and kickstart the recovery.
Rolling if you're going to do that as well. But the most important part when it comes to active recovery is to use a low intensity exercise that involves the muscles you worked. For example, low intensity cycling would be ideal after a leg day, whereas something like rowing or swimming would be ideal after an upper body day or arm day. Now, although there's several supplements out there that claim to enhance muscle recovery and reduce muscle soreness, the truth is research is relatively inconclusive when it comes to this. However, the research behind omega-3s is promising. Not only have omega-3s been recently shown to improve anabolic signaling, which may improve muscle repair and growth, but multiple other studies have shown that supplementation of around 1 to 3 grams per day of omega-3s significantly reduces muscle soreness following resistance training exercise, so taking a few high quality omega-3 fish oil pills daily and increasing your fish intake can be another viable way of reducing muscle soreness and improving overall recovery. And as for other supplements, ingesting caffeine prior to your workout has been shown in 2 recent studies.
Yeah, and another thing I think he should mention is that he said that sleep is crucial, and of course we all know that it is, but if you can take some kind of supplement or use some techniques to get better sleep, that should be your number one priority, because it's during the sleep that all of the recovery process happens. So one thing I use, and you can check the link below the video if you're interested in this as well, is blue light blocking glasses. So I put these on during the evening and the night when it's let's say 2 hours left to bedtime, and it blocks all of the blue light. So I find that it helps me fall asleep so much faster. I really love it. And another thing that I like to use as well before going to bed is magnesium. It kind of calms down the brain and mostly the muscles, and gets you into this state that it's easier to fall asleep and you're more calm. So if you're interested in magnesium or the blue light blocking glasses, check the links.
Studies to significantly reduce post-workout muscle soreness. However, the catch is that both studies used a dosage of around 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is the equivalent of around 4 cups of coffee, simply meaning that it's just not feasible for someone to implement this protocol on a daily basis. But with that being said, some other
Huberman recently had a podcast where he talked about caffeine, and he had another expert there. I think it was Dr. Andy Galpin, and he said that the optimal dosage is 1 to 3 milligrams per body weight, per kilogram of body weight. So if you weigh 80 kilos, the best dosage is around, let's say, 3 times 80, so 240 milligrams. And he said that you should try to keep yourself under the 5 milligram per body weight threshold, because if you go over that, it can actually hinder performance.
Supplements that have for the most part shown a positive effect on muscle soreness and may be of interest to some of you are taurine, L-citrulline, and L-glutamine. As I've mentioned in my other muscle soreness video, easing your way into a program is the one thing you can do that will have the biggest effect on reducing your muscle soreness. If you're a beginner or detrained or just starting a new exercise routine, the best thing for you to do is to take a few weeks to ease into your program, meaning that you should work at volumes and intensities that are lower than you normally would in order to prevent excessive soreness from occurring. So to sum up the video, in order to minimize muscle...
Yeah, good tip there from him to finish off. And yeah, it's important that you progress into the program. You take it easy, not go too hard from the beginning, because then, of course, your body's not used to it, and you need your body to slowly get into the rhythm and learn what it needs to do, how to recover and stuff. But yeah, one thing that I would also want you to think about is the sleep and how to optimize that, because that is really the number one priority. So even if you do these things right that he talked about in the video, I think it's really important that you try to focus on the sleep. So if you're interested in this, you can check out some of the links in the description, and they are affiliate links, so I will get some provision if you buy from them, so that would be nice as well. But of course it's up to you. If you like this video, you can subscribe for more. You can comment if you thought that I said something wrong, or you don't agree with what I said, or you want to build up on something. And if you want me to react to any other videos, please let me know.